The opening round begins with both men showing immediate respect for each other's power. Justin Gaethje takes the center of the cage early, looking to establish his jab and pressure. Topuria circles on the outside, staying light on his feet and searching for openings. At the 4:15 mark, Gaethje throws a long right hand, while Topuria slips underneath the attack, showcasing his trademark head movement. The Georgian-Spanish champion refuses to stand still, forcing Gaethje to reset repeatedly. As the round progresses, Gaethje continues pumping the jab and extending his reach advantage. Topuria remains patient, keeping a high guard and looking for opportunities to counter. Around the midway point of the round, Gaethje begins finding success with straight punches from distance. His forward pressure starts dictating the pace, while Topuria focuses on defense and timing rather than volume. With 2 minutes remaining, Gaethje continues to work behind his jab, touching Topuria's guard and keeping him at the end of his punches. Topuria remains dangerous, but Gaethje appears to be landing the cleaner and more frequent strikes. The final moments of the round feature a tactical battle rather than a wild exchange. Gaethje controls the center of the octagon, while Topuria stays disciplined and avoids taking unnecessary damage. Technical analysis. Gaethje appears to be the aggressor. Effective use of the jab and range control. Topuria displays excellent defensive movement. Limited evidence of major damage from either fighter. Gaethje seems to be setting the pace and dictating distance. Justin Gaethje knew the opening round would be his toughest challenge against Ilia Topuria. "I knew I had to survive that first round," Gaethje said afterward. "When Topuria is fresh, his skill set is second to none. But I trusted my durability, my toughness, and my heart to carry me through the early stages. Once the fight gets into the later rounds, nobody can match my pace." After a closely contested first round, Topuria took control in round 2. The lightweight champion unleashed a relentless body attack, landing several powerful shots to Gaethje's midsection and eventually dropping him with a crushing strike to the liver. Topuria followed him to the canvas and repeatedly advanced to full mount, putting Gaethje in serious danger. He even threatened with an armbar submission, but the veteran challenger managed to escape. By the end of the round, Topuria had inflicted significant damage and appeared firmly in command of the fight. "That guy had me in all kinds of trouble," Gaethje admitted. "He hurt me badly. He rocked my chin, destroyed my body, and nearly finished me, but I stayed in the fight." The momentum shifted dramatically in round 3. Topuria appeared willing to slow the pace early, while Gaethje steadily increased his output. Just minutes into the round, Gaethje connected with a powerful right hand that stunned the champion. He immediately took the fight to the ground and briefly threatened with a submission attempt of his own. Back on the feet, Gaethje continued pressing forward, landing heavy combinations and forcing Topuria onto the defensive. The challenger's pressure and aggression completely changed the complexion of the contest. Between the 3rd and 4th rounds, there appeared to be concern in Topuria's corner, as he informed the cage-side physician that he was having difficulty seeing out of one eye. Despite the issue, the fight was allowed to continue. Topuria attempted to rally in round 4. He secured a takedown and advanced to full mount, with roughly 1 minute remaining. But Gaethje had already inflicted substantial damage during the striking exchanges. When the round ended, Topuria's corner made the difficult decision to stop the fight, crowning Justin Gaethje the new UFC Lightweight Champion. At the time of the stoppage, all 3 judges had Gaethje leading 39-37 on their scorecards. Following the victory, Gaethje joked about emerging from a brutal Fight of the Year candidate with surprisingly little visible damage. "Look at my face," Gaethje laughed. "I've got some unbelievably thick skin. Honestly, there's something wrong with this face. It should probably be studied. The win marked Gaethje's third consecutive victory and his biggest triumph since rebounding from his loss to Max Holloway at UFC 300 in April 2024. As for what comes next, Gaethje remained undecided. "I promised my mom I wouldn't make any decisions tonight," he said. For Topuria, the defeat came in the first defense of his lightweight championship. The Georgian Spanish star captured the title by knocking out Charles Oliveira in the opening round of UFC 317 and entered the bout as one of the UFC's most dominant champions. Prior to facing Gaethje, Topuria had won 9 straight fights in the UFC, with 7 victories coming by stoppage. Ranked number 2 in the UFC pound-for-pound rankings, he was considered one of the sport's elite competitors. Now, with Topuria no longer holding the title, the lightweight division has been completely reshaped. Arman Tsarukyan appears to have the strongest claim for the next championship opportunity, though former champion Charles Oliveira remains firmly in contention after his recent resurgence near the top of the division. The story of this fight was a wild momentum swing. Topuria had arguably the most dominant single round of the night in round 2, 73% accuracy, a knockdown, and 2 minutes of ground control. By most scorecards, he'd be ahead 2-1 going into round 4. Then, Gaethje did what Gaethje does, absorbed everything, came back in round 3, and finished the fight at the final bell of round 4 to claim the lightweight strap. The narrative irony, Topuria actually outlanded Gaethje overall in significant strikes, 97 versus 91, and had better accuracy, 60% versus 47%, yet lost. This fight will be studied as a masterclass in championship round durability. Venue note: this was legitimately fought on the South Lawn of the White House as part of the UFC Freedom 250 event with a capacity of just 5,000 people, making it one of the most intimate title fight settings in UFC history. Post-fight analysis: Topuria dominated round 2 with 73% accuracy and the fight's only knockdown, his best individual round performance at lightweight. Gaethje's chin proved elite level once again. He absorbed the knockdown in round 2 and came back to win rounds 3 and 4 convincingly. Topuria's grappling, 1 of 3 takedowns, 232 control, was a surprise element. But Gaethje's takedown defense, 0 of 5 attempts landed for Gaethje, showed his improved wrestling IQ. The historically unique venue, South Lawn of the White House, capacity 5,000, added a surreal backdrop to one of the most dramatic title fights of 2026. Overall striking edge goes to Topuria, 97 significant strikes, 60% accuracy. But Gaethje's ability to produce when it mattered most defined the outcome.